Okay, in the previous video, I discussed the pricing system and the reason why you should continue having life insurance for life. And therefore, if you're going to go for life insurance for life, it makes sense to have whole life or what we call permanent insurance. Okay? But there's something significant I want to share with you. As I pointed out earlier on, term was in 1583, and for 180 years, term was all there was. 1 year renewable term was all there was, until the industry failed and they developed whole life. Now, whole life was developed in 1762. This was done in England. All insurance was developed in England. The term and whole life. Whole life was developed in 1762 in England. And what is significant to note is that shortly after the development of whole life insurance, the Industrial Revolution occurred. And nobody, up to this point in time, not to my knowledge anyway, nobody has made a link, nobody has made the discovery that it was whole life insurance that financed the Industrial Revolution. And I'm going to point out to you also that it's whole life insurance and cash value insurance in general that has financed the prosperity of people. Okay? So the whole life financed the Industrial Revolution. And it made England into a superpower. England was able to take over from the Ottoman Empire. Now, the Ottoman Empire was led by Turkey, and these people are Muslim, and because of the Muslim faith, they don't believe in life insurance. So Muslim people do not buy life insurance. And if you look around the world, most Muslim countries are poor, except for those that have oil. And so England and the other European countries were able to outperform Turkey. Turkey became a net debtor to them, and they fell. They were a superpower for 600 years. They fell, right? Because another country that had discovered cash value life insurance was able to move ahead. And what I have discovered is that any country of a sufficient size with sufficient number of people who buy cash value life insurance could become superpower, because that is how America became superpower, right? They started buying more life insurance than England, and they were able to outstrip them. In 1944, America was the largest purchaser of life insurance, and 96% of the policies the people bought was cash value life insurance, limited pay life, endowment, and whole life insurance. High cash value insurance. That's what made America into the superpower it became. And as time went on, they started buying more and more term insurance. On the advice of quacks like Norman Dacey, the biggest pioneer of this buy term and invest the difference nonsense. He wrote the book What's Wrong with Your Life Insurance in 1965. And Americans start buying more and more term insurance. And up until 1981, they were declining, but they were still creditors to the world. That's America. The saving rate was high because of cash value life insurance, and they were creditors to the world. They were prosperous people. But the trend continued where they've been buying more and more term life insurance, and by 1987, America was no more creditor to the world. Japan had assumed that position, and Japan is the leading purchaser of whole life insurance in the world. 10% of their GDP goes into life insurance premium. Okay? And that is why Japan became creditor to the world and was able to finance America. Right? Now they are falling off because the nonsense that has overtaken America has found its way to Japan. And in a country where they used to spend just about 8% of the policy sold was term. Last year, 16% was term. So they are buying more and more term, and they are having less and less money with which to do development in their country and with which to help finance the rest of the world, including America. Right? So as I've said, cash value life insurance is so powerful that countries with that are the leading purchasers of cash value life insurance are likely to become the dominant world power. One final point on this. At the turn of the century, the 20th century, Argentina was a very dominant country. Alan Greenspan, in his book, The Age of Turbulence, right, compare the economies of Argentina, Germany, and the US. Right? Argentina economy was greater than German economy, and it was about 3/4 that of the US. And by the end of the century, Argentina economy was less than half of Germany and was much less than half of the US economy. Okay? Now, Alan Greenspan is of the view that it was because of their populist view why Argentina was left behind. But even the excellent, I have great admiration for him, but this one eluded him. Dr. Alan Greenspan did not even know. That is not populism. It's because Argentina don't buy cash value life insurance. They don't buy enough life insurance at all compared to what Germany buy and what America used to buy. Okay? And just to prove that it wasn't populism, how would you explain China's dominance? China is communist. So it's not populism. It's cash accumulation, abundant cash to finance growth and development. That's what made the difference.